Hi, my name is Joshua Sayler. I am a senior member of the Feathers, Hairs, and Hooves 4-H Club. This is my 9th year in 4-H, my 5th year in the Tobacco Project. In my demonstration titled Always Ready, I will be explaining the importance of always being ready for the unexpected. Studying the terrain and the environment you'll be hiking in is very important, such as what kind of terrain you'll be hiking in. Will you be hiking over steep mountains through flash flood prone areas, or on a flat trail? Knowing the answer to these questions will help you know what to pack. Make sure to always take someone who can help you out in an emergency. Never go alone. Leave a trip plan with 2 people that will notice if you are missing. Research done by National Geographic shows that adults that wander off the trail and are unprepared is #1 cause of adults needing rescue. Do you know what to do in a lightning storm? Do you know what to do when you're cut out in a lightning storm? Always check the weather forecast for the area you will be hiking in. This way you know what to pack. A storm can pop out of nowhere, bringing with the lightning, hail, and flash floods. Make sure to check the high and low temperature of the area you'll be hiking in, that way you know what gear to take. Fire danger in the summer is extremely high, especially in a dry environment. Make sure if you are going to be going into an environment that is extremely dry, make sure to create an evacuation plan, just in case you're caught near a forest fire. Remember, nature is extremely unpredictable, and the weather can change on a dime. The purpose of your trip. What is the purpose of your trip? This will decide what gear you'll bring. Always being prepared is the best way to prevent problems before they happen. A 200-pound goat can carry approximately 30% of its body weight, but you should not put that full body weight, the full capacity, on your goat until it's 4 years old. This is because the body structure is not fully developed. My pack goat, Gandalf, he is a 3-year-old Alpine. This is the saddle I use for him. It's a fully adjustable aluminum saddle made by Mark Warnke. I can easily take this off of him and put it on one of our other goats if he gets injured or something on the trail. Speaking of which, a goat getting injured, if I'm planning on taking 4 goats that have full saddles, I will take a 5th, just in case one of them got injured or tired. A collar and a lead rope are very important to take. This way you can take a goat. This way you can load and unload the goats easier and guide them on the trail. This hunter orange vet tape we use during hunting season to wrap around the goat's horns, around the tips of the horns, to help make them more visible for us so we can see them, and to prevent hunters from mistaking them as deer. Waterproof bags. A waterproof panniers or saddlebags are very important to keep all your gear dry. You can also purchase bags that are not waterproof, but get smaller containers that are waterproof to put in them. Those work very nicely. A thermal blanket. So what you should do on any day hike is take a thermal blanket, a knife, flashlight and headlamp, your first aid kit, and duct tape. Duct tape can be used for anything. Oh yes, and a fire starter. You can't live very long without fresh water. but you can live a few days without food. So I always take this water purifier. That way I can purify any water from ponds or streams or rivers. Protection. We sometimes forget we're out in the habitat of wild animals, and that they could attack us or our animals. Bear spray is something you could always take, but I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend taking it, but it can make it worse if the bear's angry. It makes a good deterrent though. A walking stick such as this can be used to stop the goats from getting ahead of you and protecting your goats from coyotes and dogs. If you plan on taking a gun, it is highly recommended on taking gun safety classes. Remember, the only thing more dangerous than an angry bear is a person with no gun training. First aid supplies for goats and humans. I've made a list of first aid supplies, and I will be sharing with you what I take on our trip. When you go out, make sure to spend plenty of time with your goats. That way you know if your goat is acting off, and that way you can tell if it's injured. Goats like to hide their injuries. Remember, there are no veterinarians or doctors anywhere near. So if your goat gets injured, you're going to have to deal with it yourself. Know the normal body temperature, heart rate, and respiration of your goat. I like to take something like this, that way I can remember the respiration, heart rate, and temperature for humans and goats. It is also good to take your goat's temperature, that way you know what your goat's normal temperature is, because it can vary slightly from goat to goat. There are literally hundreds of supplies and gear you could take along. Way more than you could ever take. So, since you have limited space, I will be sharing with you what I take and what I would recommend. Carabiners, wire saw, a tourniquet. A goat's horn can get broken off. If that happens, you take the tourniquet, and right below where the horn broke, you place the tourniquet and put it as tight as you can. All of our goats have horns, as most horned goats do. But this also means that they can injure us or get stuck. That's where the first aid kit comes in. But the wire saw. We can use the wire saw if the horn gets stuck in branches or a tree branch or something. We can use it to cut the branch to free the goat. Or make a survival shelter. This blood stop powder can be used to stop minor bleeding and wounds for humans and animals. Make sure your goat is up to date on all of its vaccines, especially its tetanus vaccine. That way you can prevent tetanus. Saline is also very important. You can use it to wash out eye injuries, wash out wounds before you bandage them up. If you bandage them up before washing them out, it creates a moist, warm environment for that bacteria to grow and spread. It can cause an infection left unchecked can be fatal. I also carry this EpiPen. I'm allergic to peanuts and tree nuts. So carrying this EpiPen, it can also be used for any allergic reaction my goat has or that I have. Benadryl and charcoal. Benadryl can be used for any allergic reactions you have. Charcoal can be used if you or your goat ingest something toxic or poisonous. You can give them the charcoal pills or tablets or powder, and it will absorb any of the toxicities in the animal system. A cell phone and a satellite phone are also very important to take. Satellite phone is we take a cell phone and a satellite phone when we go on hikes. Gloves and suture are also very important. bandages, and bandages. So now that we have gone over what I take on my trips, I'd like to remind you, always being ready and prepared when hiking is essential. And it is also a very big topic, so I can't cover it all. But if you are serious about taking your goats on a hiking trip, familiarize yourself with the environment and terrain and the weather. Your gear, make sure you memorize the gear that you will need to take on your trip, and so you don't leave anything behind. Protection. If you remember to choose the proper protection for where you are. First aid kit. Make sure not to forget it. And always expect the unexpected. Are there any questions? If there are no further questions, this concludes my demonstration. Thank you. Obtain my information from Mark Warnke, packboats.com, my 4-H project leader, and my grandpa. Thank you.